As a work college, Berea has always been concerned with the needs of its students, both in terms of labor and academia. To show the importance of work well done, the labor program has been reinforced with evaluations like the student labor evaluation, where students are given direct feedback from their supervisors on their performance on the job. While this evaluation has proven to be a useful part of gauging student performance, the only input students had regarding this was a response to the labor evaluation just conducted on them by their supervisor. In order to provide a channel in which students may in turn conduct a more comprehensive evaluation that includes evaluation of the student work area, a new evaluation was created, the Labor Experience Evaluation, or the LEE. Now, students have the benefit of being able to fully express their opinions on both their labor position and the labor program entirely. The LEE allows students to evaluate their labor experiences in 5 key areas: learning through work experiences, the relationships between their individual academic and career goals, the 4 core general educational goals, the evaluation of the local work area, and the evaluation of the labor program, which includes the Labor Program Office and the Student Payment Office. The Labor Experience Evaluation helps to bring to light every laborer's experience in the labor program here at Berea College, in order to allow supervisors and the Labor Program Office to make improvements that benefit everyone. It is given once a year in the spring term for a student's primary position, and again in the summer using a special summer edition survey. All students are required to complete an LEE and will be notified when the window to complete one has become open through Berea College email. Holds are placed on each student account, preventing fall term registration until the evaluation has been completed. Once complete, the appropriate holds are removed. We'll go through an example of the LEE to show and describe the aspects of the evaluation students will complete. Before we do that, however, allow me to show you just what the responses do for the labor program here. Student responses are recorded and compiled into a yearly report for the Labor Program Office to validate the merit of the program at an institutional level and to highlight areas of labor where good work is to be celebrated. Shown here are the actual results for the 2012 year. We can see here that the results are great, with most students responding positively to the overall labor experience. With that said, however, the Labor Program Office takes great care to identify and measure the reasons that might cause any number of students to respond negatively. From there, the Labor Program team can look at areas and methods of improvement and develop ways to improve the overall labor experience. With that out of the way, let's take a look at the LEE itself. Do you remember the 5 areas I showed you a little earlier in the video? If you don't, here they are again. Let's start with number 1, learning through work experiences. This section allows you to say how effective your labor experience has been in providing you with basic job skills essential to any workplace, like attendance, accountability, communication skills, problem solving, and teamwork, among others. Think of the LEE as a mirror of the student labor evaluation. Many of the items on the LEE share similarities to items on the SLE upon which students are assessed, and provides an opportunity for students to respond more in depth about the areas in which they have been previously evaluated. For example, students are graded on the quality of their work in the SLE. If a student receives a low score in this area, the LEE will then allow said student to vocalize their feedback on this area. The student, then, may express a desire for more opportunity to showcase skills like team building and accountability. With information like this, Future steps can be taken to ensure a better labor experience for this student and others in their department and beyond. You can also provide additional comments. These comments are read and are taken into consideration. So by all means, speak your mind. When you're ready to move on and you've put the answers down you're satisfied with, click on Next to go to the next section. Section 2 is the relationship between work and academics. Basically, we want to know if any given student's labor and academic goals support each other, and if so, how. Let's look at another example. If you're an agriculture major currently working on the student farm, and you feel a strong connection between your academics and your labor position, this should be reflected in your answers. Conversely, if you are a computer science major working on the student farm and you feel there is no correlation, this too should also show through your response. As any student enrolled in Berea College can tell you, students will do a lot of writing, research, thinking critically, and a few presentations here and there. These skills are most utilized in the general studies courses that must be passed in order to graduate, and is part of the liberal arts college experience. It is important to understand how the labor program helps to reinforce these same skills in the workplace. A communications TA may find that their labor position utilizes a lot of writing and speaking, as well as some critical thinking skills because of the nature of teaching other students with different learning styles. A facilities assistant would utilize writing or speaking skills when communicating with their building monitor about maintenance or sanitary issues. Potentially, any labor position can use research and critical thinking skills to discover more efficient methods to complete their job. This section is where we get into specifics like orientation, job training, the quality of a student's feedback from their supervisor, the usefulness of departmental labor meetings, and the student's overall satisfaction with their job. In this section, we can recognize and correlate a student or students' good work to a specific department, validating effective management and training methods that are being used. This section also asks students how satisfied they are with the resources they are provided in order to do their jobs, whether these resources are the proper tools or a more thorough supervision. Here's where you actually get to evaluate areas of the labor program as a whole. These aspects include the programs and job fairs the labor program provides, the assistance in addressing the individual needs of the students, and the quality of training and informative material like this video. Not every student necessarily makes direct contact with the labor program staff or participates in the events like job fair, so it is to be expected that students might be more inclined to remain neutral or select the NA non-applicable option. However, it is important to make the distinction that non-applicable should more emphasize a lack of knowledge about these aspects of the labor program, and neutrality should represent a lack of need to utilize these resources. Having this distinction in the future will help the labor program to better expose students to these resources. Once you finish this section, you can now submit your LEE. Now, there are a couple of concerns many students have with the LEE. This quick section will address some of those concerns. Question 1. Who is going to be able to see my answers and comments? Okay, this is by far the most common question received in regards to the LEE, so let's answer it first. Only your supervisor, department chairs, program coordinators, and the vice president will have access to view evaluation results. They will not, however, see your name or specific position attached to the evaluation. Question 2. When will my labor supervisor see my results? Your labor supervisor will see your answers and comments approximately 30 days after the closure of the evaluation window. Question 3. Will my answers affect my labor position? Every effort is taken to make sure that your identity is protected. However, it is possible that you will be identified in small departments based on your answers. Sometimes this cannot be avoided, and students who are in this position are urged to keep this in mind when filling out answers. If there is ever a point where a student is being treated unfairly due to their answers, please make every effort to contact the Labor Program Office. Remember, the LEE was designed to improve labor experience, not make it worse. Question 4. What if I have more than one labor position? The LEE was designed to be an evaluation of a student's primary position. It wouldn't be fair to ask a student to evaluate their secondary position in the framework of a primary position where there is so much to take into consideration. Lastly, there are 3 key pieces of advice students should remember when completing the LEE. Tip number 1. Just be honest. Remember, answers like yours can help improve labor departments. Tip number 2. Be informative. They say the devil is in the details. Avoid statements like, "I don't like my job," or "I don't like my supervisor." Without specific details and explanations, complaints like these help no one. Lastly, be professional. You should present your responses with the kind of attitude that you would want from others. It's in everyone's best interest. And there you have it. That's the labor experience evaluation. Got a question or concern that wasn't covered in this video? Feel free to shoot us an email at training@berea.edu. You can also look us up on Twitter at @Berea_labor. Thanks for watching.